Hey, this is the Mischief podcast with our guest Tavis.
What's up?
We're going to be doing something different instead of just the usual shit posting we do. We're going to be talking about Ireland and Europe because, Tavis went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so why don't you tell us about your trip? I mean, your student, whatever.
Yeah, so I went there my junior year of college, spring semester. Got there early spring, like January, I think.
So winter.
Was there for, I think, till first week of May. So pretty long, actually. It was pretty cold and rainy. Didn't snow that much, though. It doesn't snow that much there.
That's good.
Yeah, but
That's
it was...
good.
Yeah, it was a good time. I gallivanted across Europe and a little bit and reached North Africa at one point in Morocco.
So what countries did you go to?
Well, I was in Ireland. I went to Northern Ireland briefly, if you count that as a country.
Yeah, part of the UK.
Yeah, England and Scotland,
Yep.
Denmark, Sweden, Italy, Spain, and Morocco.
So, yeah, you didn't visit everything, but you visited a lot. You didn't visit France, right?
No.
Nor Germany, yeah.
No.
I'm going to Germany. As you know, I'm going to Germany in spring, which is going to be an interesting experience.
Yeah, that will be interesting, yeah.
So I'll start off with some questions. What did you think about Ireland? Was it a fun place? Would you recommend it for tourists?
Yeah, it's definitely fun. If I were to live there, I don't know if I'd live there around Dublin, because that's where I was. I was like 30 minutes north.
Yeah, what was your favorite town there then?
Galway and Cork are both really beautiful, and they're something about being on the East Coast. Dublin, I mean, it's not really on the ocean front,
Yeah.
It's facing England, so it seems like everything, I don't know if it's because of the ocean on that side or what it is. It seems a little bit dirtier.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard about Dublin.
It's a cool, fun town though, for sure. But if you want something that's a little less depressing, a little less run down, Cork and Galway were both beautiful.
Were they touristy at all?
They're pretty touristy. I wouldn't say
they're not like London or anything.
They're not really that big.
Yeah.
I mean, Dublin's still pretty big. I mean, the crazy thing about Irish towns is that they're not cities like we have, and even not even like London or anything. They don't have skyscrapers.
Yeah, they're more like traditional European towns. Yeah.
Yeah. So
like Berlin.
Yeah, I guess I've never been to Berlin, but
yeah, Berlin has like one skyscraper and it's a radio tower.
Yeah. I the Guinness Storehouse is like one of the tallest buildings in Dublin.
Oh, geez.
It's really not even that tall.
Yeah, because I can't imagine that's tall.
Yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, it was a ton of fun. If I were to go back, I think I could. You can manage to. At least personally, it depends person to person, but and I wasn't there for the entire summer, but the weather was starting to become very depressing after a while.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about the UK in general, though.
Yeah, and it's very flat and green, but one thing I did notice is when I went to Scotland, it was similar type weather, but the rolling hills and scenery was a little bit. It added a little bit. It broke the monotony of just the green, flat fields with sheep and cows in Ireland.
You went to Glasgow, right? And the other big city there.
Edinburgh, yeah. I wish I would have gone further. It's crazy because those two are actually very close to the border of
England?
Yeah.
Or Wales, I guess. I don't know which
one.
No,
it's England. I think Wales is on the bottom.
There's really nothing
west
in Wales,
coast.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've never been there either, but there's so much so much more further north of those two cities that I didn't. I mean, I went to Stirling.
I mean, there's a lot of islands you can go to too.
Yeah, a lot. And like
Isle of Skye.
Isle of Skye, yeah. And then I mean, there's a couple bigger cities up there too. I think like Inverness and can't remember any more right now without looking at a map. But yeah, Scotland was very beautiful. Edinburgh is like an old cobblestone, crazy old cobblestone nook and cranny town with just tons of castles and everything. Yeah, Glasgow is a little bit
more modern,
and smaller, so it's actually really not it's kind of I mean, the crazy thing about Glasgow is that they get a ton of music that goes through there.
Oh yeah, that's what I've heard before.
So I mean, Glasgow does have its it makes up for some of the things that it lacks. But overall, Edinburgh is just a much more beautiful city.
So, what would you say your favorite city you've been to in the UK is? Probably Edinburgh.
Yeah, as far as the UK goes,
Yeah.
well, if we're including Northern Ireland too,
Technically, but not really.
so Belfast is okay. Belfast is actually cool because it's got that history of the
In our whatever you call it.
yeah,
I forget what you call it, but like the little terrorist group.
yeah, IRA, is that it?
I think that's it. Yeah.
And the Protestants and the Catholics or whatever, and
They all fought each other.
but yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, I went to London too.
Well, that's amazing. But
Yeah, London's
probably one of the biggest cities in Europe, if I remember
London's
correctly.
amazing if you have a ton of money.
Yeah, I've heard it's like New York City in cost.
Yeah, and actually similarly to New York City, I heard some crazy things about how part of the reason that it's so expensive and why real estate and everything in New York similarly is so expensive and some of the more richer areas is that a lot of these people buy these penthouses
Yep.
from different countries like, Dubai or Saudi Arabia.
Or like the rich Chinese.
Or the rich Chinese, and they pretty much use their I don't know how it works, but I've heard this from multiple people. I mean, I'm not really sure if they're like how
Reliable, yeah.
reputable they are, but that like it's just rumors, but that they buy out all these apartments at a high cost and they don't even live in them. They just use them to move around money from different countries.
Yeah, the Chinese are infamous for that.
Yeah, and I heard London's actually very similar in that aspect, but yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of sucks, but yeah, London would be amazing if you were
Rich.
yeah, like a touring museum. If you go there for, just
like a
to
gig or something, yeah.
yeah, a gig and just to like blow out and party and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
All I did for 2 days, I mean, I walked something around like 15 miles a day because I just walked around. I didn't want to spend a ton of money because everything was so. I mean,
London's like way bigger than New York City and then mass, if I remember correctly.
I actually,
or at least the metropolitan area is.
I don't know. It's crazy because like there's so many like bigger cities that are close to London.
Yeah, like they're all like it's basically a bunch of mini cities.
Like yeah, like
together.
Manchester and Liverpool and stuff like that, and yeah, but I don't know. Trying to think where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I mean it'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun to go. I mean, anything on the pound is expensive.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the UK is expensive, but London in particular is.
It's a world-class city. It's going to be expensive.
What's nice is that there's a bus that you can ride from Edinburgh to Glasgow.
Yeah.
That's like £3.
Holy
if you
shit,
order
that's
it,
cheap.
yeah, if you order it online instead of in person, and you do it like through a.
Yeah, I don't know the conversion rate, but that's probably around like $3 to $5.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I think the pounds might have been. It was 1.5 pounds, or $1.5 to a pound when I was there.
So that would have been less than $3 then, yeah.
Well, no, it would have been more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, $1.5 for every pound.
Okay.
So it would have been like 4.5 if it was like three
yeah, that's
pounds.
not
It would
bad
have
at
been $4.5 something. Yeah, but when I was there, the euro went from like $1.25 per euro to like 1.1.
Oh, geez. I think it's like 1.2 right now. I can't remember.
Yeah, so it was starting to get lower while I was there. So it was nice because we were all like, yeah, we're saving money.
Yeah, when you go to Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
Ireland uses the euro, correct?
Yeah, Ireland uses the euro.
Yeah, my brother, he's going there this week, so he had to get a bunch of euros.
Yeah, I didn't go. I mean, I'm trying to think. I forget I have a like currency from everywhere I went, like including the pound, the euro. So obviously Spain and Italy both use the euro as well.
Yeah, so no need to get them from there.
Yeah, and then
probably something from Morocco.
It's Denmark and Sweden have two different very similar sound. I think they're called kroner.
Something
kroner,
like that, yeah.
Or they're both called kroner, but they're spelled differently.
Yeah.
And their conversion rate is different too. Doesn't really
kind of stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think they're both part of the EU, so
they are. Not only that, but there's like a sub-faction of the EU that they all belong to, including Finland and Iceland, and the Faroe Islands, in which they're like the Nordic countries.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they're all allowed to like, I don't know, they get like some benefits that's like even more of a union than the EU is, so they can all like travel with their own pass. Well, I mean, you could do that with the EU too, but like they can work wherever they want indefinitely, I think.
Yeah.
Within their, I don't remember the exact details, but I know that a lot of the other Baltic countries are always try to get in
Yeah.
because of
Makes sense.
the benefits, like Estonia and Latvia and Lithuania and stuff. And
I don't think any of their economies is good enough, really.
no, that's probably, I don't know, the politics behind it, but I'm sure it would tank. If they allowed them in, it would tank.
Probably.
Over the average would probably go down, but yeah, which is kind of unfortunate because from what I've read is that I think they're called like the Nordic like something, and all those Baltic states have a lot of like Nordic and Viking culture and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that sucks. It's kind of funny how like Belarus recently said that they're good. Did you see that?
What?
The president, who I've heard is kind of a dictator, in Belarus,
Yeah.
has recently said that they want to unite with Russia.
So join Russia? Like
Yeah. But it's Belarus's leader saying it. It's not the same thing as Crimea of Ukraine, in which Russia just kind of did what they want.
That's kind of fishy. I mean,
it is pretty fishy, but it's like, what can you do about it when their leader like says that he wants to do it?
Putin's up to something. That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't know. It's pretty sketchy, but
yeah.
But yeah, I guess my favorite UK city was probably Edinburgh. To get back to that, yeah, most likely. I mean, it was so beautiful there, and it's big. It's a big city too.
Yeah, I mean, I need a big city.
And it's on like rolling hills, so like
kind of like Pittsburgh is.
Yeah. So even though there's not the hills are a little bit smaller though than Pittsburgh, but
really? Okay.
Yeah, it's more like the beginning of the Highlands.
Okay.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. But because of those hills and because of how the buildings kind of are, it gives it a little bit more of
character.
Well, it's cool because some of the buildings are higher, but not because their construction is higher. It's because they're on the hills.
Yeah.
But all of them are all old looking, with like made out of like old stone and stuff. Yeah. So it's got a quite it's like a very unique characteristic. Yeah. But
there isn't that many cities like that in America that are just, I mean, there's plenty of cities of charm like Charleston, Savannah, but like nothing like old timey like that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's kind of similar and not as much anymore, I think, probably because it's pretty developed, is like Boston.
Yeah, I mean, Boston's probably the
closest
thing we got.
Boston's got all the like the Irish pubs and old like cobblestone streets and stuff, but even that, most of it's developed at this point. But I mean, if you want to get as close as possible to that,
probably Boston.
Yeah. Even though Boston is, a pretty big city with like skyscrapers and stuff.
Yeah, it does have its old parts though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I went to Philly, I was expecting to see at least some old parts, but at least the part I was in, it looked all modern.
Yeah, I mean, I actually went to some of the oldest parts, and they're all right on. What river is that?
Delaware.
Probably. It's right along the Delaware River, right over on. It's on the east coast of Philly.
Okay.
It's like literally like a couple blocks wide, but it's like where Betsy Ross's museum thing is, and all the old buildings. And
this is the church. I forgot what that's called.
Liberty Bell's over there.
Yeah.
A little bit south though. Yeah.
And from what I saw, Philly looked ultra modern.
Yeah.
More modern than I expected.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it had like quite a bit of like older cobblestone stuff to it, but
yeah, I never visited that part.
Yeah. I don't know. You just got to go like so I mean, if you're West Philly, obviously not. And,
yeah. I mean, I was near all the stadiums when I was there. Like the sports complex.
Okay, yeah, I went there, but I don't even really know where those are located because I went to
They're outside the city.
Yeah, I went to the Verizon Wireless Center.
Yeah.
That's like in between both of them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
It's just like a bunch of bars all combined, and it's like where everyone goes who's tailgating, who...
Oh, I didn't see that area.
Yeah, it's like a big bar complex that's in between both stadiums.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I like it, though.
Yeah, so when I was there last...
You were there for the Super Bowl around that time, right?
I was there for the Super Bowl, but I was there for before the Super Bowl, too. what the hell? I was there for New Year's last year too. Oh yeah, and that's when I went to the Verizon. I forget who they were playing, but it was so cold. It was like -5 with wind
Yeah.
chill. So everyone who tailgated, I heard about like the Verizon Wireless Center was so packed that I heard that people like who had tickets to the game just decided not even to go to the game and just went to the Verizon Wireless
I
Center.
can't blame them.
Yeah.
Yeah, -5. I'm not gonna sit out in the stadium.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay, so back to Ireland. Was there anything that was a major culture shock when you went there? Like, you can remember?
first thing that was a culture shock was I asked them what time the bus comes. And I cannot remember what they said, but they say like they're. I mean, obviously, there's also dialects throughout Ireland, so
Yeah,
not. I think it was
accents are heavy there.
mainly
I've
around
heard.
mainly around Dublin that says this, but it was like they say something. You know how we say like quarter past or half
Yeah.
past? They say it in a different way, and I can't remember how they say it. It's like, I don't know, but whatever he was saying, I couldn't understand what he was saying,
Yeah,
and it wasn't because of his heavy accent; it was because of the way they say it.
yeah, that makes sense.
So it was like, I don't know what that means. I got on the bus and went there, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it was kind of crazy. I got there, my flight, got there. Trying to think, the school was closed. I got there at like 3 a.m. or something like
Oh
that,
my gosh.
and I had to wait like 3 or 4 hours outside
Oof.
because everyone was asleep. The school was shut down, so I couldn't get into my apartment. I
That's
didn't.
weird.
Yeah, it was terrible because my flight got delayed too.
Oh no.
Yeah, my flight was delayed. Got there late. Sat outside with my backpack, freezing cold. Flight was delayed because I had to go through Boston,
Yeah,
and yeah, that was
fun.
yeah. So
Could be worse. Could be in Newark or something.
yeah.
Going through Newark on my trip, I'm not excited. Heard things.
Mm-hmm.
Was Ireland a pretty diverse place when you were there?
Yeah, because they have tons of people studying abroad and from
Okay, that makes sense.
like I had a Bulgarian friend from Switzerland,
Yeah.
friends from like a friend from Norway, lots of Germans. I made more friends with international students than Irish people, probably
That makes
because
sense because you have more in common with them. You're all there like you're all foreigners,
yeah,
so
yeah, and I think the Irish students like see people come and go, so they really didn't care.
yeah, that would make sense. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't really make a lot of foreign friends at my school.
Yeah, there were a couple of nice ones though.
I mean, I don't not like them. It's just they're not going to be around when I graduate. You know?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was pretty diverse. I think that was part of the reason why culture shock isn't too bad there
Yeah,
because there's so many people who are in the similar situation to you.
that makes sense.
Even there's so many people there that don't even speak English,
Oh,
you know,
boy.
and they're in an English speaking country. So you actually have a leg up on a lot of people, considerably, which makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I bet. Let's see what else. What was the craziest thing that happened on that trip?
Oh, that's on the like while I was in Ireland
Or just
specifically.
in that whole European like adventure.
Me and my friend got jumped with not really jumped, but like
Mugged, yeah.
yeah, with a knife in Morocco, like probably like 30 minutes into being there.
That's always fun.
But that was just because we probably haven't had an air of naivete about us, and I mean, it wasn't even like I didn't even notice the knife. My friend told me like a year later, and I
that's
didn't even
always fun.
because I just handed the dude money, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, he had a pocket knife in his hand." And I was like, "I didn't even see it." Yeah, but I guess that was pretty crazy.
I mean, I've never even been mugged, and I've been to rough parts of America. So.
Yeah. I mean, I gave him maybe like 20 euro worth of dirham, which is the currency for Morocco. Yeah. Which is like, so it seems like you can do a lot with 20 euro in Morocco, but
that makes sense.
I mean, our hostel was like €5 a night, €5 a night, and it was like a pretty decent hostel actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's real cheap.
Yeah, I mean anywhere in Europe, like the cheapest you'll find is 20 euro.
Wow.
Yeah, 20, and like that's the cheapest. Most of the time, like there will be hostels, especially in Northern Europe, like the UK, and unless you want to be out in the middle of nowhere, I had one hostel that I put like a £3 deposit on, and when I got there, it was like 5 miles out,
Yeah.
out of the London center. I could have taken a bus and stuff, but I was like,
That's pain in the ass, yeah.
I'm just gonna pay an extra 10 pounds
To
to
stay in the
a
city,
night
yeah.
to stay. Yeah, so it was like 35 pounds down there, which is actually kind of a lot considering like, it's probably like $45 or something like that.
I mean, that's still less than a hotel, though.
Yeah, it is. Well, it depends. Yeah, for the most part. It's around we got like a hotel for the shittiest hotel ever in Glasgow.
Boy.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What was so bad about it?
It was so small. It was like everything was just like the beds were like made out of plastic. It was like weird.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was terrible. But yeah, I guess that was probably the craziest thing. I'm trying to think if anything else. I don't think. I don't know.
So it was a pretty tame trip then? Well,
No, I mean we did
alcohol.
a ton of fun stuff. Like we broke into the cemetery all the time.
Yeah, that's
Like
fun.
ran around like closed parts of camp. Like our school kind of like half of the school looked like Hogwarts.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, it was like this old chapel with this huge courtyard with vines everywhere. It's closed off at night, but we went in there and like ran around and like got drunk and did other things.
That sounds fun, yeah.
I mean, my friends did some crazy stuff, but like,
Nothing to the
I mean,
craziness of being mugged.
no. I mean, we did like drunken mess stuff,
Yeah,
a lot
I
of the
mean,
time.
That's just something you could do in America. Though.
Yeah. I mean, like St. Patty's Day, we were up at 4 a.m. drinking.
I mean, you're in Ireland, you might as well.
Yeah, that was a long time.
Well, they don't take it as big as we do, right? They don't drink as much on St. Patty's Day as we do.
I mean, I'm not really. I mean, I'm sure you could go to inside the pubs and stuff, but out and about, it's like families and stuff.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
So, one of the craziest things I did actually do, when my friend who I went to Morocco with and his friend who was studying abroad in Barcelona with him came to Ireland. It was during the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
Oh boy.
And bars are a hard close in Ireland at 2 a.m.
Really?
Yeah, hard close. They are not open later than that.
That's weird.
So it's very similar to how actually Pittsburgh is.
Yeah, because like, from what I've heard, like Erie, not Erie, Erie and Buffalo, they both like bars will close at like 6 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And like here, they close at like 2 or 3. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. I mean, it's depends on what city you're in. So like, New York City, they'll be open like pretty late.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, New Orleans, they don't close.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
They virtually don't close. Yeah. I mean, it just depends. But Ireland, yeah, Dublin, hard close at 2 o'clock. I mean, I'm sure you can find some places.
Kind of surprising given their reputation for alcohol culture.
Well, that's the thing. I think even in even London and stuff, they weren't open that late either. It's because people are going to, people go after work to get pints and stuff. People
don't go like way late at night then.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like a clubby.
They just do it after work.
They're not like clubby cities or anything, drinking is much more just part of the culture. So
that makes sense, yeah.
It's not like Barcelona where Barcelona has like crazy clubs. I mean, there's clubs in Ireland and London and stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Definitely.
I'm sure some of them stay out later. None of the clubs I went to in Ireland did though, but where were we talking about again?
Something crazy you did?
Oh yeah. So we were gonna go see the Cliffs of Moher the second day.
Oh, okay.
It would have been they're over by Galway
Yeah.
in like Mayo or something. That would have been my second time seeing them, but my friends were in town and we wanted to see the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
Oh yeah.
And the concierge at the hotel they were staying at told them about a bar to knock on the door and tell the guy who the concierge's name that was telling them.
Okay.
So we went to this.
This is going a good place.
Yeah, I mean, so we just went to this bar. It was all shuttered up.
Yeah, this is getting good.
Like there's all the windows were closed, and we knocked on the door and told the guy our name. He let us in, and they were taking bets everywhere, you know.
Sounds like some true debauchery right here.
Yeah,
I
and
like it.
I mean, since it was closed, it wasn't like normal hours, so people were allowed to smoke inside.
Oh
Probably
boy.
because they also didn't want anyone to go out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you can smoke anywhere over there inside. I don't remember though. I don't
I
remember.
mean, I know a lot of American cities you're not supposed to anymore.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's like one of the only ones.
Really?
Yeah, you can smoke in so many bars around here.
I've only thought of one. I can only think of one.
Uh, which one?
The Hop House in McCandless.
Oh, okay. Well, more bars out here you can. It's mainly downtown in Oakland. So many bars in Oakland you can.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like smoke at bars.
Yeah, you can.
Disgusting.
Yeah, there's lots of bars. I think it's like one of the last cities that really allow for that.
And what's the difference between smoke and the air pollution here, really?
What?
What's the difference between the smoke and the air pollution, really?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're notorious for air pollution here.
That's true. But yeah, so I guess
Anything crazy happen when you were there, or was it just people betting?
um
Was betting like
no,
illegal or something?
it was just betting. No, I mean it's probably illegal. It was illegal to be in the bar.
Oh, so it was after hours.
Yeah,
That
because
makes sense.
the fight was like in Las Vegas or something.
Yeah, so that's gonna be real late at night there.
Yeah, I mean it didn't start until like 4 or 5, and then they slept. My friends slept for an hour while I stayed awake, and yeah, because I knew I wouldn't be able to wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
If I went to sleep, so I woke them up, and we went to the Cliffs of Moher at like 7 a.m. the next day, 8 a.m.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, it was awful.
You just got to saw cool cliffs, I guess.
Yeah.
You already saw them once.
I saw him
before,
twice. Yeah, so the first time my friend was supposed to come, he just never showed up in Ireland.
Oh yeah.
And he wasn't responding to any of my texts. And then like a week later, he messaged me and stuff, and I found out that he had been in jail in Spain because he was trying to help his friend who got in a fight.
No.
He'll probably tells the story better, but they were at a bar. His friend was getting in a fight. I think he was just trying to help. I don't even think he was trying to fight.
Trying to like pull him off. Or
Yeah,
something.
trying to get him out of the bar and stuff. And they went outside, and I guess the Spanish police or the Barcelona police stopped them. And then some of the girls who were with the guys that he got in a fight with,
Oh yeah, they told a whole different story.
they said that they were trying to steal their cell phones.
Oh yeah.
And like my friend and his friends, I guess, were just like, "What are you talking about? Like we weren't trying to steal anyone's cell phone." But because they were so much more adept, obviously, at Spanish because they were in Spain.
Yeah.
The other people, it was hard to convince the police otherwise, so they booked him. And he left Spain without going to court.
No.
And I think the worst thing that could have happened is like he wasn't allowed in Spain for like a year.
Oh boy.
But that was like 4 years ago, so
So he's probably fine to go back.
yeah, at this point.
Not try to recommend it, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
yeah, I want to go to Ireland. That'd be fun.
yeah, it's
I feel like getting shit faced in Ireland would be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting if you could go do like I'm gonna bring up a map real quick. Like go to Sligo or some of the other cool places.
What's in Sligo?
It's like the northwestern coast. I heard it's just very like wildernessy. If you like wilderness stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Probably gonna stick to the cities though.
Well, Sligo is a city.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh.
I believe
so.
so.
I thought it was just a name for a region.
Nah, it's like it's like a bigger town. It's not huge.
Googling it.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's in. Okay.
it's not huge by any means like any of the other cities, but it's one of the bigger ones out in that area.
Definitely looks unique.
Yeah. I didn't manage to go out there. I mean, I went to Galway. This is the furthest west I went. I went to another little town called Cobe, which is right next to Cork. Cobe is absolutely beautiful.
You have to Google it.
Yeah,
How do you spell it?
COBH.
It's a weird way to spell it, but.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I noticed like all these pictures of Ireland. It's like they have real houses with all different colors.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, but when me and my friend went to Morocco, I guess this is kind of a cool story. We went down there and we knew that we had to be back up in Spain, in Sevilla more particularly. by like in like 6 days, or maybe it was
Yeah.
7. I can't remember.
Not that's a lot of time actually.
Yeah, but we flew down there and we didn't book anything on the way up.
Oh no.
So we knew that we had to get back up there. We just didn't know how. We didn't even really look into it, but we were hoping that there was a ferry that
Oh
could
yeah,
take us
boat,
across
yeah.
the Strait of Gibraltar. So we were down in Marrakesh, which is pretty far south in Morocco, and we took a
Yeah.
train up to Fez, and then we took another train up to Tangier.
Okay.
Then we were able to take a ferry across, stayed the night in Tarifa in southern Spain, then took a bus back up to Sevilla, which was like 4 or 5 hours, I think.
That's not bad actually.
Yeah, I mean the train ride. Some of the train rides we took were like 8 hours.
Oh.
When we were
God.
just sitting there. It was actually
I mean, at least the scenery's cool on a train.
no in Morocco the scenery was like deserts and
that's
stuff.
not good at all.
Well, no, I actually thought it was pretty cool because like you're seeing all these like clay little towns. Like
Yeah, that's not bad.
I don't even think they're on maps, you know.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty crazy. Yeah. So it was fun.
I mean, Morocco sounds like a fun place to visit. I mean,
Yeah,
not
it,
sure how safe
it
is.
is. I would just stay to the touristy areas a little
Yeah,
more.
Exactly.
Especially because those 2 girls got killed in the backpacking in the mountains there
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, it can be dangerous.
I'm being honest, most of that area, North Africa, is dangerous in a way.
What?
Most of North Africa is dangerous in some way or
Oh,
another.
yeah. But the thing about in Morocco, I mean, you're gonna see so many.
Tourists.
Yeah, there's a lot of tourists in them, like Marrakesh in particular. There's so many in the Medina and stuff.
It's like Egypt. It's like, in a way. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very touristy, so it's safe.
And we didn't go to like Casablanca. Apparently, is very modern.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I've
we,
heard.
we were told not to go there because it's not like as old and cool looking as like.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into like Morocco, you want to go to like the old school places.
Yeah. I mean, Casablanca is just really famous because of the movie with Humphrey
yeah.
Bogart. Yeah, but so we didn't go there. But I'm sure if you do go there, it's like even more. You feel even safer there.
Yeah, probably.
It was hard to get alcohol anywhere in Morocco.
Oh yeah.
We found one bar in Fez. Well, we just didn't go to the newer cities. The older cities are mostly
more
populated.
traditional Muslim. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
I know some places like Saudi Arabia really frown upon alcohol.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It's almost impossible to get there in like some parts,
yeah,
which is crazy to me. It's just such a big part of American culture
yeah, it really is.
and most of European culture too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't think of a single European country that's not known for some kind of alcohol.
Yeah, me either, really.
I mean, at least all the big ones.
Yeah, almost all of them, really. Maybe I think even well, maybe not Eastern Europe as much, but
Yeah, Eastern Europe's kind of like no American really knows about Eastern Europe.
yeah,
I mean, there's Poland, but
yeah.
everything else kind of blends together because they're all just former Soviet states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, have you been to Europe before?
No, this is my first time in
Oh,
May.
nice.
Sadly, I'm only going to Berlin and Munich, but
Oh, okay. Well,
I plan on going back when I get more money.
yeah. I mean, that'll be fun regardless.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
I haven't been to Germany yet, but
Yeah, it's a really cool place.
yeah. So
The main thing I'm gonna do is just go to like I'm going. From what I heard, we're going to a concentration camp, a U.S. embassy, the Eagle's Nest. Hitler's little hideout in the mountains.
mm-hmm.
There's a few other places too, but I can't remember them.
Well, that'll be cool.
It's a decent like amount of stuff we're doing. It's like unique.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably go to like German. We're going to Hofbrauhaus, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna go to another bar in Bavaria.
Oh, okay.
At least somewhere in Munich,
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go to coffee shops in both Munich and Berlin.
Yeah.
See what their coffee scene's like.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be good. So, like, what's part of the issue with this headphone amp? So, like, just so I know for future purposes, like, what do you got to do to make it stereo?
Well, basically, right now it's lacking a TRS cable, which there's two kinds of like
Is that what you need to plug into the
It's from the headphone amp to the interface.
Oh, okay. That shouldn't be that expensive, should
Yeah, it's like $10, and I'm too lazy to buy one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, this headphone amp, it's pretty cheap. I mean, I like that about it. It's only like $25, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the Behringer one.
Oh, nice. Because I'm probably going to have to think about getting one at some point.
You want to shout out your podcast on here?
I don't have one yet.
Oh, you did.
No,
Your cousin made one.
No, me and my cousin did a couple, but we haven't. They sounded. It was like a test run.
Yeah.
They did not sound good.
How bad was the audio quality? I mean, you were using these, right? These SM58s.
Yeah, but we had a scary movie blasting.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
And we were in a bigger room. It almost sounded like our voices were more distant. I think mine was better because I was more conscious of it, but they didn't realize that they needed to be closer to the mic.
I mean, the audio on these aren't that great, but like, it's a challenge.
And wait, how many mics can you put in that interface? 4.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it was like $100. It's not bad at all.
Yeah. What's that one called?
Behringer something.
Oh, okay. Behringer. I don't know. I have the Scarlett i2i2.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Yeah, but I have the first gen, not the second gen.
Oh, no, yeah.
I mean, it still works.
Still good, but like...
Yeah.
Didn't you pay like $30 or something for it, though?
I paid like $50 for that one.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah. They're always, like, people are always selling them. Like, this guy's...
I think they're the most recommended one.
Like, this guy's selling the same one on Letgo right now for $150.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you paid a really good price then.
Yeah, I paid a really good price. But...
Yeah, podcast quality,
this is
keeping the sound quality good is hard.
Yeah, and this is the first gen, too.
Oh, yeah, you can probably sell yours and buy a new one if you wanted to.
Well, no, I mean, the second gen, yeah, I can't believe he's selling the first gen for so much.
He's probably asking too much.
Second gen, it has the white letters.
Yeah.
And I mean, from what I've read online, it is better, actually. So
yeah, that makes sense. Usually that's the case when they release the second generation or something.
Yeah.
Not always, but...
Yeah. So you ever record music with the SMs?
Yeah, I use those for vocals.
Yeah, vocals. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I use Audix i5 for snare. I sometimes use an SM58 as a drum mic because I don't have a kick drum mic yet. And I'll use a condenser for the overheads. I have a Sennheiser mic for my guitar. I forget what it's called, though.
Is it like similar to a SM57?
Yeah, it's kind of. It's called an E609. It's a different shape, but...
Yeah.
That's my main go-to for guitar.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm still looking for, because I only have 2 mics right now. I'm looking for one for guitar purposes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ones you could go with.
Yeah.
I want to get some better mics for podcasting. The SM58s are good, but something a little more professional.
Well, hold on, let me check real quick. I think it's still on there. There's a Shure, maybe not. I thought I saw a Beta. What are they called? Shure Beta.
Beta 58, yeah.
Those are better than 50 SMs, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard at least.
There's one on Craigslist right now.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I think he's selling it for like 80.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get it though.
Yeah, neither am I.
Yeah, what were you thinking more of
like the Heo PR40.
What is that?
Expensive is what it is.
Really?
It's like $250 or some shit.
Oh, okay.
Apparently they're like the best one for podcasting, but I've never seen them in person, so. I mainly just use the Shure mics when I'm recording anything like vocal.
Yeah.
I'm a Shure fanboy in some ways.
Never mind. They're selling a Shure 57 Beta.
Oh yeah, that's
57.
more for instruments.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, usually the 57s are more for instruments.
Yeah, he's selling it for 90 actually. I lied.
That's not bad.
Yeah, aren't they like 150 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Because the SM58 and SM57 are like 100 new.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get there eventually as far as equipment goes, but.
I mean, you should definitely make a podcast. They're fun.
Yeah, I wanted to get that. I wanted to do wanted to get an Audio Technica 2020.
Oh yeah, those are real good.
2 of them, because they're also condensers, right? So I could use it for.
The only problem for condenser is like, especially in my house, you're gonna pick up a lot of unwanted noise.
Yeah, you need soundproofing.
Yeah, and
I've seen people just take like a table like this and they just put cardboard up with.
Not a bad idea. Yeah, that could probably work with the foam.
Fish crate foam, or whatever, or egg crate. Sorry.
No. Yeah, egg crate foam. Yeah.
Egg crate. I think I said fish crate. Yeah. So.
So at some point, if I ever get like more into like making podcasts, I'm gonna actually try and make my room a little more soundproofed.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
kind of early in the phase though for that.
So then you have 2 pairs of Audio Technicas.
Yeah, I have those ones up there and the ones I'm wearing.
Are they both 50 or are they both
I bought this pair I'm wearing as a gift from my brother, but he doesn't use them anymore.
Okay.
He used them for gaming, but he needed a mic, so.
Okay. So you got a headset with a mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was originally using these of like a mic on your table, but it was picking up way too much noise.
Was it that blue?
Yeah.
Blue Yeti?
The blue one on my, not the blue Yeti, the blue
Or
Snowball on my
Snowball,
desk.
that's right. Yeah, do you ever use that for any recording?
Not for recording. I just use it for talking when I'm on Discord.
Okay. But it's a good mic?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I still prefer it picks up way too much noise.
Yeah.
Because it is a condenser.
Yeah.
I could probably pull off doing a podcast with it if I wanted to.
Yeah, probably like a personal one or...
Yeah, if I'm only doing one person.
Yeah.
I just prefer using dynamics because they don't pick up my dogs when they're barking.
Yeah.
At least I don't think they do.
Yeah. So you, I guess back to travel-wise, any cool places you've been to in the United States?
Probably, the coolest I've been to, I'd say, is Charleston.
Yeah, I agree. I go there every summer.
Yeah, it's definitely the coolest place I've been to.
Yeah.
Well, it's the coolest small town, I'd say.
Yeah, it's definitely very cool.
It's a beautiful city. That's why I like it. Like, the building architecture is beautiful. The beaches are beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what you do, though. Like, I think it might be... I haven't gotten a good feel of if you were to live down there and you didn't live in the city, what it would be like.
Because my friend who lives there, he lives downtown.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you lived outside, if there's a lot of shitty areas or not.
Yeah, I've noticed North Charleston wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
There was some definitely sketchy areas there. But Charleston downtown has a lot of great restaurants.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah, there's a ton to do, yeah. And everything's very quaint and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The second favorite city I've been to is New York City.
Yeah, New York. I went there the first time last summer.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
I might try to go there again sometime soon.
I definitely would. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have a friend who lives there now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and he texted me over winter. He's my friend who actually played professional soccer in Sweden.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, he didn't he didn't play for
like a big team,
a very big league or anything.
But he played. That's an experience.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I want to go back up there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town.
I'm going to Boston next weekend.
Oh yeah, you go there a lot.
Yeah, this is gonna be my last time in a while, I think.
Yeah, I've yet to make it up to Boston.
Yeah, there's not really one of my best friends from high school is there, but there's not much. My sister moved out.
Yeah,
as of last summer.
She lives in Philly now.
Yeah, and there's not really much for me to do up in Boston anymore. And
we should go there in the summer. It'd be nice.
Yeah, summer is nice, but I can't imagine being there for long periods of time in the winter.
Yeah.
I've even visited in the winter, and it's.
The winter's probably worse than ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I haven't really northeast wise. I've driven through Hartford and stuff. But,
yeah.
and Philly, obviously, we've both been there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I like Philly a lot, mainly because I have a lot of people there, connections that live there. So whenever I go there, they're bringing me to do something new.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, other than that, what other travel have I done recently? I haven't been.
In the last couple years, I've done Chicago. That was cool.
Yeah, I did that about a year and a half ago.
Not really anything spectacular, but I wouldn't worry as impressed as I thought I would be. Except the Lincoln Park area was really nice. That I went to a music store there called Chicago Music Exchange.
Oh, really?
It's incredible.
Yeah. I wasn't really much anywhere else besides around where like the Bean was and and Trump Tower and stuff.
Because I only drove through there to get to Milwaukee.
And the Sears Tower too, I think.
Yeah, because I went to I went near one of the baseball stadiums, not Wrigley, the other ones play at.
Okay.
White Sox play at.
I wouldn't know.
It was south, and
okay.
we went past there, and then we went.
You went to Milwaukee?
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, my dad used to live out there for a while he was working there.
Yeah.
I didn't go to downtown Milwaukee, but I went to a bunch of the small towns around it, and I really liked it.
I thought I heard Milwaukee is like a pretty good up and coming young town.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The areas I were at were very hip areas.
Huh.
And the interesting thing is it's not a big city by any means. It's one of the it has a baseball team but right now in the MLB, they have the smallest like market out of all the MLB teams, so that
Mm-hmm.
gives you an idea of how small it is.
Yeah.
But it's big enough to be considered a city.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. It's like it's a decent size, but it's not overwhelming.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I don't know. Like I wouldn't live there. It's too cold.
Yeah.
I went there during the summer. I couldn't do it during the winter.
Yeah, I don't think I could either. I mean, Chicago
Same
in
problem.
the winter is probably terrible too.
Same problem. Yeah, because they have all the lake effect snow.
Yeah. I've been to I guess in the past couple years. Oh, that was like 3 years ago now. I went to Dallas and San Antonio.
Oh yeah, I grew up in San Antonio. It's great city.
Yeah, me and my friend did that. We did a road trip down there that took I think 14 days or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We stopped in Nashville for a couple days.
That's a good place to stop.
Yeah, we
Never been there. But...
camped in Arkansas. Then drove through, stayed in Dallas for a night. Then then went to Austin and then San Antonio.
So you hit up all the big cities except for Houston.
Yeah, except for Houston's so far out of the way.
Yeah, dude, it's on the ocean. So.
Yeah, so there was no way. We were thinking about going back a different way, and going through Houston and then New Orleans and then
that would be dope.
And then north back to Pittsburgh, which only would have added I think we looked at it and it would have added maybe 6 hours total.
That's not bad at all.
No, but we were just, dude, by the end, we were so dead.
Yeah,
we were
I can see it.
I want to go home immediately.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
You went to at least 4 cities there.
Yeah. So it was a good time. And then on the way back, we stopped in Nashville and stayed for a night or two again.
Yeah, Nashville's real nice from what everyone tells me.
Yeah, Nashville's cool. And Austin, too, I think.
Yeah, I've been to Austin. Austin's real cool.
Because they don't have skyscrapers either. They're much more like a big city.
Yeah, I know.
Just yeah. But Dallas is just huge.
I've never been, but I've heard it's huge.
Just tons of buildings and yeah, it's really big. And
San Antonio was pretty decent size, but it didn't feel as big as say Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I agree. But apparently San Antonio's in top 5 population wise.
In Texas?
Yeah, in the United States.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how big their area is, but I agree the city does not feel big at all.
Yeah, I mean, the metropolitan area is pretty huge. That's probably why.
Yeah, let me look it up. I just
I found out to be San Antonio's in the top 5.
United States biggest cities. Okay, hold on. It's not top 5, but it's right outside of it.
That's still crazy.
It says here. I don't know if they're going by population
or metro population.
Phoenix. It's right after Phoenix.
That makes sense.
1.5 million.
It's probably city population then, not metro.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Because Pittsburgh has a 2.6 million or something metro population.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we include all the way down to West Virginia.
Yeah. Houston's huge.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
Chicago, obviously. Chicago's number 3. Los Angeles is number 2.
New York's number 1.
New York's number 1, and then it says Philly's 5.
Yeah,
so all the cities. Actually, I didn't know about Houston, but all the other cities I'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect Houston. Houston's massive.
Yeah, then Phoenix is 6.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Phoenix is apparently massive.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Dallas is 9.
In the middle of the desert.
I'd assume Dallas is up there because Dallas is huge.
You probably got San Francisco, the Bay Area, somewhere in there. Well, that's probably metro.
San Francisco's 13.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's funny is number 16 is Fort Worth.
That's basically Dallas.
It's literally Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even that. This is probably 5 miles apart.
Can you imagine if they included that? Dallas would be
number 1. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think it still wouldn't be bigger than
New York.
Yeah, New York. I don't think. But
New York's massive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think what was crazy about New York for me is I walked all day around Manhattan, just Manhattan, and
yeah,
I just felt like I saw so much, and there's still 4 other boroughs.
Yeah.
It's just it's insane how much is fitting into that.
I only walked around Manhattan too. I was in Brooklyn for a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even visit Brooklyn.
Mainly, I only went there because part of the wedding that we were part of had to go there. So.
Yeah, but I went to the Brooklyn Bridge, but I never crossed it.
Yeah, we took a ferry actually. from Manhattan to Brooklyn.
Yeah, because we could have just walked across the bridge. There was a lot of pedestrian traffic on that bridge.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We just decided to, stay in Manhattan.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely enough to do in Manhattan, that's for sure.
And we did. We basically went to all the major landmarks except for Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, we didn't go to that either. We really didn't go because we were doing a wedding, so like we walked around Manhattan and like went and got food and every day and stuff. We didn't. I mean, our hotel was right next to Ground Zero.
Yeah, I mean, we visited there.
Yeah, so we visited there and St. Patrick's Cathedral. Is that what it's called?
I think, yeah.
Is that what the church is called?
I don't think we went to the church.
Yeah, and just
Times Square, obviously.
Oh yeah, we actually went and saw a musical in Times Square.
That's funny.
Yeah,
when we were there was a K-pop group performing in Times Square. It was just like crazy. I'm like, what?
Dude, K-pop groups attract so many people too.
I didn't know K-pop was that popular in the U.S.
I mean, it is with like younger people, like middle school people.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I read some stuff on Reddit. Like this one mother was like I forget if it was like advice parents or something, or one of those, and she was like, my daughter has like thousands of pictures of this K-pop group on her phone. It's like, what do I do?
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's kind of obsessive.
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, K-pop culture as a whole is creepy. I mean, you're just from what I've heard, it's like they're very controlling of the artists who are in the industry. The corporations who run it.
Mm-hmm.
They're very controlling of what you can do, what you can say, like more than the extent of like American celebrities.
Yeah.
Like to the point is your entire life is planned by someone else. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could do that. I don't care how famous I am.
Yeah. I mean, I'm applying to teach English in South Korea.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm just gonna apply, and if I make it,
just go. Yeah.
It depends on what's gonna happen between then and now.
And you also gotta make sure you're gonna get paid enough to live over there.
You get paid the equivalent of I think 40 grand.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and I think a lot of other things are the expense, like housing and stuff is paid for.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, because South Korea's program Epic, it's pretty competitive. But what I'm applying to is one of the. It's like one of the well, first of all, South Korea has like the best secondary education in the world.
Yeah, I could see it.
That's part of the reason why it's competitive, and Epic's probably the most competitive teaching abroad program there is, especially definitely in Asia. I don't really know about a lot of other programs outside of Asia.
Yeah.
Because like you don't really ever hear about people like. Actually, I did know someone who went and taught English down in like not Venezuela, one of those.
South America.
Yeah, it was one of those. It might have been one of the safer ones, regardless.
So
maybe
not Venezuela.
Costa Rica, maybe, or something.
Yeah.
This was also like 3 years ago, so I'm not sure what Venezuela was like. I think it was still shitty, right?
Yeah, it was still shitty. It's been shitty.
Yeah, I mean, you hear about them, but you hear mostly when people go and teach English in Asia more often than anything. So, yeah. But I guess as far as other topics go, I went to New Orleans a couple years ago too.
Oh, that's always nice.
It was a year and a half ago that I went to New Orleans.
I've always wanted to go there. It seems like an amazing time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's we were there for a music festival, so
that's even better.
There's a ton of people down there for that music festival.
Yeah.
So the traffic was a little bit
bad.
Well, not. I mean, traffic as in like foot traffic too.
Oh, okay.
So it's like even walking around at night, it wasn't as scary.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot. I mean, dude, before I went there, my cousin was telling me about how she like knew like two people, like 1 degree of separation. So like someone that she knew, or someone that she knew someone, like personally. There's like 2 people that she knew like that, who they knew someone who got killed down there.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of sketchy.
Yeah. So, and they told me that right before I went, but
yeah, that's a nice move.
But because of the music festival and everything, it was a little bit more highly populated.
Yeah, and that makes it a lot.
So
safer.
even when you're like walking down a dark road, kind of, you'll see like another group of people, and you'll be like, oh, they clearly are coming from that music festival as well. So, yeah.
I mean, New Orleans isn't really that unsafe compared to like Chicago, some parts of Chicago, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. There is a ton of crime in New Orleans. But,
yeah, that's true.
But.
And I've been to parts of Baltimore that were really rough, and I did not feel safe at.
Yeah, I've never been to Baltimore actually.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I like it because it's a fun little town, but it's like I wouldn't go out of the way to go there.
I usually forget about it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's forgettable. That's my issue with it.
Yeah, yeah. When I think about like East Coast towns, I don't really ever
I don't
think
consider
about.
Baltimore really. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely an East Coast town. It's just what's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they have Inner Harbor, which is pretty nice, but so does DC. I mean, they're essentially DC's little brother.
Yeah. I would like to go to Savannah.
I've never been, but like I've heard it's just shittier Charleston.
Okay. They actually, I read online, have one of the better. I don't know where this is coming from. It was like probably like I think it was on a couple blogs, but one of the better St. Patrick's Day festivals celebrations.
Yeah, that sounds weird, but I could believe it.
Yeah. I wanted to go to Chicago this year, but
Yeah.
for St. Patrick's Day because they dye the River Green.
Oh yeah, that's badass.
Because I was in Boston last year for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun.
But
that's why you're going to Boston next week, right?
yeah, I mean, like I wanted to go with my girlfriend to Chicago, but she
Yeah, that's more of a drive for her, so
more for her, yeah. So
it's less for you.
yeah, less for me, but yeah. So we just decided. I mean, it was just like whatever.
Boston,
I'll go to Boston again. I'm trying not to go to Boston. I mean, unless someone's willing to drive me or give me free plane tickets. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'll go again. You know.
But yeah, I feel that.
But for the most part, I don't really have any desire to go to Boston for like the next year at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not. The only cities I'm probably going to go to in this next year, I mean, obviously Berlin and Munich, but like Toronto.
Oh yeah, I'd be down for Toronto this
Yeah,
summer
that's
if you
going
want
to
to
be
go.
badass.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to go for Carnival or whatever, but
Kind of want to check out Detroit actually.
yeah, I've thought about that. 'Cause
I've heard
it's
Detroit
a lot
is
closer than we thought it was.
Yeah, and I heard Detroit's getting like kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, some parts of it are actually pretty upscale now.
Yeah, and because it's still so cheap there,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it was just recently run down and shit, you know.
I mean, as long as you avoid the bad parts, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah. So, actually, it'd be nice living there actually, because I didn't realize as far as like cities with decent air traffic, you know, like Pittsburgh's is terrible, right?
Oh yeah.
I heard
Our airport's kind of crap.
Detroit is is a big Delta hub.
Really?
So yeah, I mean,
you got all the amenities Pittsburgh has.
yeah.
I mean, you're obviously gonna get lake effect snow there, but
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
No, I mean it's still gonna be.
It's still gonna be Detroit though.
Yeah, I mean it'll be cold and shit, but wonder if there are any. I'm trying to think of any other like. I want to go to St. Louis too. I have a friend out there.
Yeah, my dad's been a few times. He likes it.
Yeah.
I don't hate going there and hitting up a Blues game.
Oh, nice.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen, but we'll see.
Yeah. So you thinking about any? So anything else about like maybe Europe or?
Yeah, well, not right now.
Oh, I mean like
In the future?
any other conversation?
Nah, I can't think of anything.
Oh, okay. Well,
We'll
yeah.
probably call it a day. It's almost an hour.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like we discussed a lot.
Yeah.
So if anyone's actually listening to this, this is the end. Thanks for listening, and have a good
Yep.
day.
Peace.